can't think as people do. The machine is different.
Being! What marvelous being! How gratifying! How gratifying!
It's become an asteroid, I'm not kidding. It's about this big now, and it's, I don't know if we can do that. A lot of talk about going back to the moon. The U.S. space policy at this point does not endorse going back to the moon, but many of our international friends are planning to go back to the moon, and we will learn from their stay, because if we go back to the moon, we're probably going to put up habitats, and we're probably going to stay a while and practice this living off the earth. Because when we do set our sights on Mars, we're there for the long haul. Currently, we're learning all we can about Mars with our rovers on the ground. Curiosity, Spirit, Opportunity. The next rover we're planning to launch is called Rover 2020. It'll launch in 3 years. I guess they ran out of really cool names. But what they did not run out of was the most amazing set of data gathering instruments that will measure atmospherics, geologics, sonar, everything you can imagine to take data to learn about Mars before we head out. Because we've got to have that down cold before we launch the big rocket to Mars. So tonight's movie is about what it will be like when we're going to Mars and things go wrong. This is like Apollo 13 for the Mars generation. And while I look at it as a great work of science, it is of course fiction. But it's amazing to think that I met a young gentleman coming in, and I believe he was 9. He very well could be the one who is like Mark Watney. He could be the one who has to figure out how to make things work. Because, let's see, what are the key components? He'll have to have shelter. We're thinking there may be volcanic lava tubes under the surface that we could live underground on Mars. Because if we can do that, we have protection from the very intense radiation. While Mars is a very cold place, you'll get a suntan real quick. Got to figure out food. Mark Watney comes up with a pretty creative solution to his food issues. On the ISS, they're making salads now. They're growing salads in a low gravity environment. So they're testing, so that when we get to that big prize, we aren't surprised. And the last concept that's really something to think about is communication. In this movie, communication plays a large role, but the reality is that when on Mars, there will be about a 24-minute lag in any message you send. I don't know how our texting generation is going to handle a 24-minute lag in sending a message. They'll learn patience. And then there is a period of about a month each year, and the Martian year is about twice as long as the Earth year, but the dates are very analogous. For about a month out of the year, when the Mars is positioned behind the sun, you don't talk at all. So your phone service is 11 months out of the year. So there's a lot going on, and this movie really speaks to what it will take to live there. Because we know this country, we know we can build rockets all day long. But where do you want to go? We'll build a rocket there. The figuring out the living is the key. So that's way too much, and I'm sorry I spoke so long. Does anyone have just some fun questions? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, yes sir.
Do you believe in Martians?
I do when I got Martians up there right now, spirit, opportunity, and curiosity. Do I believe in Martians? No. I don't think currently there are Martians unless we continue to find more evidence for some form of life. We're finding more and more of this, this past week, it's like the science is coming right and left. This past week, they found oxidized manganese on Mars through some of our sensors. And it seems that manganese only oxidizes in an oxygen-rich environment. And they're saying, oh boy, maybe a long time ago, Mars was completely different. Because the geography of Mars, or the surface of Mars has changed when essentially Mars's atmosphere doesn't have much of an atmosphere, has stripped away, now I'm going to bundle the science. It has stripped away its water. It's lost its water. And because of the radiation, so some of the oxygen is at the surface level, but a lot has gone away. And they say maybe it just, the radiation obliterated the water. So they're finding more evidence that at one point it may be likely that there was some kind of organisms on Mars. Some kind. Walking around. Yes, sir.
So you're saying Mars is populated by robots? Are these dangerous robots?
They are, yes, they are. It's Wall-E, So yes, Mars is populated by robots, and there's a great poster that NASA has out, tongue in cheek, and it says the evolution of Martian. And it sort of is that look of the silhouette of ape to man, only it's the sequence of rovers we've sent up, and then the last one is an astronaut standing upright. So, yes, sir.
I heard of the fossil that the sword that Strand walking on Mars, that the winds on Mars don't actually get that strong.
But he had to have something. Yes. The question is, and the science of this book is about, they like to say, about 98% accurate. And one of the points about the reality of the Martian surface is that the windstorm, that is the key plot element in the movie, that the winds would not actually be so fierce, that it would not rip things to shreds. The guy had to have something. There were no giant sharks with chainsaws, so he was on a barren planet. I guess the only other thing he could have had was like an impact strike from space, but not a lot of weather. No hurricanes, no snowstorms, no weather that we would understand, but a nice dry Scirocco that'll rip your habitat apart. Now you got something. Yes, sir.
Can you give us an idea of the scale of the rocket that's going to bring or take folks from Earth to Mars?
The SLS will be there will be different stages and configurations. At its most powerful, it's 130 tons. It'll be able to lift about 260,000 pounds of payload, and will be the most powerful rocket we've ever built. We'll have two 5-stage solid rocket boosters on the side, which, as I mentioned, there was the test this week of one of the rocket boosters. It did burn for 2 minutes, and this was a quote from that I read out of a newspaper of the account. Some 55 tons of propellant per second were burned by the booster with a goal of producing 3.6 million pounds of maximum thrust, equivalent to the power of 14 Boeing 747s taking off, according to its manufacturer. In other words, it was a hell of a fire. So that was one of the two boosters, and then there is the main rocket itself. So it will be 113 tons, the largest rocket we've ever made, the largest payload we've ever made. And it's down the road, but it is going through the test. They've already tested the capsule. We've had an Orion capsule test, and they're gonna put the whole configuration together, I believe, in 2018, and launch it. And the rockets, of course, will fall away, but the capsule will go around the moon and return back. It will go out farther in space than any rocket we've ever had before. And again, that's still early in the proving ground stage for I believe that figure, 250 million mile journey to Mars. We've got a lot of little steps to make before we make that big leap. Yes, sir?
Did there make any changes from the book or the movie that were not accurate, or did they stick to all of the science?
There are some slight changes in the book. I mean, the slight changes in the movie from the book, but those were mostly dramatic in nature. The science itself, they pretty much left intact. There's a few more plot elements and, that sort of thing that you would expect. But NASA really got on board with this and worked to advise on the film. We'll give you anything we can to help you make a better film. And they really have made a film that is inspiring the next generation of explorers who suddenly think, not just, man, I want to ride that big rocket, but, man, it would be cool to be a scientist. Man, it would be cool to be a botanist. That's the real power of this movie. Yes, sir?
May I ask a stupid question?
I can guarantee you a stupid answer. Yes, sir.
Why is it important that we go to Mars?
Why did we do this and the other things? We choose to do this not because it is easy, but because it is hard. I think there's always science, but if I say we're doing science for science sake, everybody's going to change that channel. What could be more ennobling for our world to set foot on another world? Why not? And this was the issue that was raised. This was raised during the Apollo missions. We have hunger, we have illiteracy, we have pandemic disease. Why are we going traipsing off to the moon? And it's because the knowledge that we gain from making the effort makes us bigger. And we don't even know what we'll learn from that will help us in some other way down the line. It takes a commitment. I mean, you have to believe in that mission. And I think right now that would be a really enough thing too, to have a mission that people around the world would buy into and say, do this. But choices and priorities, that's a rather lofty choice. So why Mars? It's a good shot. It's not as mean as Venus. That's our other option, right, in terms of distance. Yes, sir. We will have, like with the Saturn rockets that took us to the moon, we'll send a capsule and we'll have a little landing element, because all we'll have to do, because the Martian surface has about a third the kind of gravity we have on Earth, so it won't take as much thrust to get going. So we'll send down a capsule with a little lander unit on it that'll boost it up, and once it achieves a certain orbit, that'll fall away, and then we'll pull it right on back to Earth. Yes, sir?
I was going to say that there's also a practical side to going to Mars. In yesterday's newspaper, Stephen Hawking announced that we only have about 1,000 years left on this Earth that we need to escape.
There are many scientists, and one of the components we haven't discussed is the commercialization of space, because the cost is so much that it's hard for any one nation to bear that cost. So as commercial elements step in and try and fulfill smaller roles, you know, one of the most engaging characters in space development right now is Elon Musk with SpaceX, and he fully says he will have someone on Mars by 2024. That sounds like next week to me. He says, we're gonna do it. And his concern is that something could happen on this planet, ecologically, politically, in terms of some sort of disease. And he wants us to have another foothold somewhere. And he says we are at a point technologically where we are compelled to establish that foothold as a safeguard. So absolutely right, looking for some place to continue. Yes, sir, and I think this should probably be, I'm not trying to shut you off, and I'll stand around and talk about stuff tonight, but I know you want to see the movie. So, yes, sir. Well, it all goes to planning and packing well. No, because literally, they will probably take with them someone with medical skills. Kay Rubens, Space Camp alumna, going to the ISS, is a medical doctor. They will take someone with them with medical skills. They will have, I'm sure, you know, electronic resources to assist them. They will probably have a computerized physician by then. So they will be prepared for that eventuality, but the idea that when we get to Mars and we stay, that's gonna be part of it. And so before we actually land on Mars, it wouldn't be surprising if they don't send up missions where they are landing the supplies to homestead the planet, and then we become Martians, and we begin to farm in some way, and we begin to, you know, conduct life in some way, and that will eventually mean bringing up families and terraforming. Yeah, yes, making it habitable for some type of agriculture in some form.
Maybe I have a Capri Theatre on
If they're lucky. Yes, and it maybe it will be a collapsible habitat that they will put it down and like literally and up it comes, because you know you're gonna want to watch something. I don't know what kind of reception you'll get. So. But anyway, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to come and